this as a to be continued. Hopefully, the next update will be positive news.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers.
Welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday. Where did I leave you last week? I think I left you in the week from hell, which was I had great ideas of doing a week in my life, showing you how I manage the horses, work, and it all went wrong because Wednesday that week Molly became really ill. By Thursday she was worse, Friday she deteriorated, Saturday she was admitted to Equine Hospital. So let me catch you up on what happened with Moles. Here she is, the absolute love of my life. She's back safe and sound at home, but we had a massive scare last week, maybe the week before now, because of how these go out. Molly is back home now. She suffered a impaction colic. Oh, goodness me. I started the Wednesday and the vets came and felt the impaction. She was then, I basically lived here from Wednesday to Friday, and she had fluids every 6 hours through her nose into her stomach, and she was then walked by me every couple of hours to try and relieve this blockage. We did that for a couple of days, and by Friday actually we thought that it had cleared. We thought the impaction had gone. The vet was really happy with her. She was showing signs. She was much improved. She was eating, she was drinking, she was doing all the normal stuff. So I was really happy. The vet was kind of like, brilliant, we've got things sorted. Saturday morning came and she was back to square one. She was colicking quite severely. If you see Molly now, she's got a lot of scars on it, and that's where she was being a typical dramatic thoroughbred and throwing herself on the floor. But I know it was painful, honey. So we decided on Saturday, after having done Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of fluids at home, that Molly needed to be referred. So she went to the equine, she went to Pool House Equine in, I think it's Lichfield? Where she was admitted there, and it was touch and go whether we'd actually need to operate to remove the impaction. The problem we'd got with that was the cost. So we have to be very, realistic. Molly is insured, but the cost of the surgery was 6,000 to 7,000. And the main issue, other than the cost, was we believe Molly became impacted because she'd been in for 2 weeks because the fields were being sprayed, so she hadn't got turnout. So we believe that's what created it. So the worry then for the vets was that if she had surgery, she'd have to have box rest, which would mean that she'd probably end up back at square one again. So it was really, I'm so fed up this year with horses and things that's happened with horses. I was just ready to quit, not gonna lie. I was ready to go, let's just sell up and do something a bit different. However, through to the fantastic treatment at Pool House, Molly pulled through. She's lost a bit of condition, she's lost a bit of weight, but I'm just so happy to have Molly back home, healthy, happy, back with her sister. And for me, I think one of the most important things is, because this year horses get old but they don't get better. For me, in my head, horses just don't get better, having lost Mo and Reg. So for me, it's just a massive thing that actually horses do get better and they do come home. So Molly's back in work now. She's more or less back to her usual cheeky and obnoxious self. And yeah. So sorry that I cut that week of her life short, but I had other priorities. I just had to make sure that she got the best possible care. And she is now home on a grain-free diet, different forage, so different haylage. And we just check the poops, and we've had really, really good poops, haven't we, Moles, for the last days. So she's then advised by the vet. Molly's better in work than out, so the vet advised that on Thursday, the day after, they wanted her back in work. So I'd actually left her while the Saturday, and then we started doing some long lining, some hacking, and she's had her first trip back in the school today where she's just been excellent, and I'm going to put that footage in. So yeah, thank you to everybody that kept me going from Instagram, etc., with the lovely messages and well wishes from all. She's home, she's back, and please, the rest of 2023, just be kind. Please be kind to me. Right, I'm going to put some bits in when she came home and being reunited with P, and then we're going to move on to the session that I've just done with them both in the school. There you go. Off walking around to the school to do a little bit of a training session with both girls now. We are back up to full capacity, everything is good, and back to start, you know, the retraining and seeing how they get on. So I'm going to do a very simple exercise today, and you do know I love to put a schooling exercise on these vlogs. It consists of 3 poles, and it's just really good to start to get them to flex around your leg. There's lots of different things you can do with it. I'm a camera woman. She's not talking. What? I said I've got my camera woman. Oh, sorry. This is my daughter. So yeah, it gets them to flex around your leg and gets them, yeah, just working forwards. So let's finish this vlog off with a bit of schooling footage. Why not? It's literally as simple as that. It's 3 poles on the centre line, and you can, where's my finger? You can do circles, you can do a serpentine. Really useful. Yeah, incredibly simple. Right, let's go and get the ponies. Here is voiceover me again. I think these are really good to put in because although sometimes it looks boring and it's quite repetitive, this is what training ex-racehorses is like. And also, progress is not linear. So we go up and we go down. To be honest, with P at the moment, she's just going a little bit backwards. For me, she doesn't travel forward enough. So I need to start working on her, forget about the contact with P for a bit, and because she does naturally come into an outline, but forget about the contact because I think it's stifling her movement a little bit, and she needs to know that she can work forward because she gets herself very tucked under. I start by walking over the poles in more of a serpentine movement to try and get her to flex, and as you can see here, there is absolutely no flexion on that inside at all. So that's also something that I need to note down that we need to work on. I mean, here, that's not a bad walk. But again, I think it lacks a little bit of purpose. And she needs to just, I'm a little bit more tense in my body. And I need to kind of relax a bit more. As we work into the trot, again, I still think it's very stifled. She got a bit shocked there by the pole on the floor. I think she needs to, for me, when I'm watching this back, I'm kind of going, like she needs to travel more forward. She's a little bit better there. And I think I'm getting a little bit too concerned in keeping that nice outline to get her to work properly, when in fact, actually she's not working properly. It's a false outline. So although sometimes with P it looks pretty, she is not working from behind as she should be doing. And I think that's one of the most misconceptions, is that they can look. Here she hates that corner of the school. So I'm just trying to get her used to it. We go back to that in a minute. But yeah, I think we can work into more of a false outline when they're not truly working through. So here I'm just practicing. I've forgot the poles now, and I just want to get her to move forward. So I'm doing a few canter transitions, forgetting about where her head is. Ignore that. I just want her to step off into canter and move forward. And there you see, actually, that's not bad. Again, we've got a bit of llama going on. Very typical with these ex-racers. They can hollow and they can stick their nose out. So change the session to just get her moving forward.
'Cause what the future holds, nobody knows till the race is all won. So if you're wondering what's the point of anything at all? It's to live your life, live it right. right now, 'cause you only get one. Before the dawn, it's always dark. Before the light, there is a tunnel.
I ended the session just making her go into the scary corner, and all I'm doing is walking her up there and getting her to stand there for a few seconds, just so she understands that nothing is going to hurt her in this corner. It's full of noise and lots of fences and everything, but she can stand there and she can be absolutely fine. On to Molly, and Molly, having been in Pool House Equine, has had a full MOT while she was in there, so we know she's fit, ready to roll. She's got no issues. I had x-rays done, we've had stomach checked, so she's ready to crack on, Molly. So although I've been working up a little bit of strength with her over the last few months, she's starting her work back in the school. So again, I do exactly the same as what I was doing with P. I'm starting by just trying to get her to flex around my inside and go over these poles in walk, in a serpentine movement. I actually think Molly does this a little bit better than P. Let me know what you think. You might totally disagree. But I actually think Molly flexes a tiny little bit. I mean, there's hardly any flex there, but she flexes a little bit more than P. Gets a little bit excited there, and I have to kind of just say, whoa, Moles, we don't need to go that fast. And I'm asking for a tiny bit of contact with Molly, but not a lot. But she naturally comes down herself now a little bit more, and I actually think she works a little bit better than P. So yeah, also I understand my school needs weeding, okay, state the obvious, but you know, priorities. We haven't had time. It needs harrowing as well. It's on the list. Anywho, we are walking over these lovely poles, and then we're stepping up into trot. I notice my position there is a little bit forward. I need to sit up more, stop rounding my shoulders and look up. I have a bad habit of looking at the floor. Don't know why. I just do, and I find it really difficult to get out of. Again, whatever we do on one rein, we do on the other, and I'm just trotting over a little bit of poles here. I'm really happy with this. This is the first time back in the school for Molly since she's been doing her strengthening work and since her admission in the hospital and everything else that she's had going off. And I'm really pleased how she came in with a great can-do attitude. I mean, it wasn't long ago this mare used to rear in this school. You know, let's not forget, P and Molly are only 5-6 months into their retraining. Had a little canter on Moles just to open her up, and we tried to finish with a nice halt. Pleased with that, Moles. Good girl. We enjoyed that little snippet of them back in the school. If you enjoyed that and want to join our journey, please like, comment and subscribe. And hopefully next week will be something different, something more exciting. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I've got an outing coming up with P soon where I'm doing some arena hire. We're just doing feeds. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. Keep it real. Have a great rest of your week.